Have to do, the adult content.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't have to do it. That would be great, but I would still want to do it. Personally, I'm an exhibitionist. I love, putting my sexual self out there for other people to see, for other people to, touch themselves to, have fun with.
Can I ask you a question? Since you're about presenting yourself to the world, do you have a good relationship with your father?
Okay, here we go.
No, I don't talk to him.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Did me, Dad! Oh. Daddy didn't love me!
A man will lose interest when he sees that he is trying way harder than you. It literally doesn't matter how pretty you are, how happy you are, how successful and confident you are. You will lose him simply because you are not giving him any effort.
Nobody talks about this, but it is very difficult to be attracted to the person that is good for you. Good on paper, right? They're good. You know that this is a good choice for you, but something is missing and you don't know what it is. It's that most likely you're looking for that chaotic adrenaline rush that you get when you like the person that is not good for you.
Honestly, just grow up. That's all this. I continue to hear women say nonsense like this. I mean, she even admitted it. She's saying pre-healing, it's hard to stop doing this behavior. Basically saying that women who do this are injured.
At 7, so I would prefer someone who's over 6 feet. Honestly, definitely over 6 figures.
You gotta be 6 feet, 6 figures. So a man that made 80,000, that's not enough.
Not at all.
Why is 80,000 not enough, bro?
I know me, I know my lifestyle, that's just not going to cut it. We're not gonna go out to eat how I want. We're not gonna be able to travel like how I want. It's just gonna be too many limitations, and I don't like that.
Okay, so where does she want to go out to eat that's going to require a man to make 6 figures? Are they going to be eating Salt Bay steaks 3 times a week? And he has to be 6 feet tall. No, not 5'11", 6 feet tall. It's the 666. These modern women want the 666. That's 6 figures, 6 feet tall with the 6-pack. And 80K is not enough. Nope, has to be 6 figures. Nothing less, because that would be breaking the 666. You have to keep the 666.
Me during the earthquake so that she doesn't get the ick. This is literally what men have to do. These are the hoops they have to jump through because of the ridiculous standards that women put on them on social media. Somebody commented and said, new ick, standing still during an earthquake. Somebody else said, what earthquake? I didn't feel shit. That is what you have to say.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't lie. These kind of all sound like that sounds like a miserable marriage, and those all sound like rules that you made up to benefit you. Just me? It's raining outside. Isn't that lovely? Thank you.
I'll be damned, your shit.
With your sameness and fairness thing, to be honest with you, it kind of sounds to me like you want equality as long as it's benefiting women, but when it's not benefiting women and men can take the brunt of it, you're like, that's cool. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, how do you see that?
If we lived in a properly feminist world, there wouldn't be affirmative action initiatives to put more women in positions of workplace positions and in academic positions. If we had a truly equal world, women, like I said, would get drafted into the military. I think if feminists want to truly fight for equality, it's put your money where your mouth is. But if you only want equality when it's benefiting you, then it's not. You don't actually want equality. You just want a world that benefits women more often.
Men always just want virgins that hadn't had sex with anyone and are really good girls. You want younger women as well, so it's that whole predator vibe. So
what if I said women are stupid, can't make money, short, and weak because they want a guy that makes more money than them, taller than them, more confident, ambitious, etc.? That would be ludicrous, wouldn't it? We don't shame female preferences. Okay? When a woman says, I want a man that's tall, makes money, etc., you go, girl, you deserve it. That's your preferences. If I say, I want a girl that's not a hoe, that has some sexual temperance, isn't going to embarrass me when I walk in a room, beautiful, young, etc. That's considered, oh, that's toxic and masculine. We demonize male preferences, but we don't demonize female preferences.
My stepdad was my top subscriber on my naughty website. Now I know what you're all thinking, oh, stepdad fantasy, could have made content from it, blah, blah, blah. This man had been in my life since I was 11 years old and spent $2,000 on custom content every single video that I sent out. When I caught him, he denied it to all of his friends, and obviously my mum got rid of him straight away. But yeah, if you want to talk about family trauma, my stepdad watched me have sex with my partner for 2 months.
So what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of our divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly?
Now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
Imagine thinking that it was a bad thing, by the way, for a man to say that it's their job to take care of women. Remember when that was noble? You remember? I don't remember. When the Titanic was sinking, I don't remember all the women complaining that they were on the boats first with the children. No. Were they like, no, I'm staying here. Men, you take the boats. I've got this. No, because that would be weird. That would make no sense, right? And now we're warped, right? So this now we've been programmed as women to think that when a man says it's my job to take care of a woman, you're supposed to be offended by that. Instead of saying to yourself, well, that's a fundamentally decent man that thinks that's his job and is going to work his butt off to make that happen. Warped society. Don't play the game.
Because if I could explain to anybody how lonely pregnancy is, I can't put it into words. I'm just so frustrated with how I feel. Now you
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
Guys don't like to think about women having been with anybody before them. At all. Like no one at all. They prefer to just be like, the vagina was closed before they got there, and then it opened, and now it's in process. Like, they just can't. They don't want to visualize it. It's very uncomfortable for them to do that. So the more partners you've had, the more you start to seem like an open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 7-Eleven. They're not into it. It just is. Also, if they're looking at you seriously, they're saying, this could be the mother of my child, going to be pregnant. Like it's a clash. Like promiscuity and that family, it's just a clash in their head. They don't like it.
Okay, real quick for the ladies. I'm going to describe a regular man for you, and I want you to tell me if you would marry this man.
Okay.
5'8", about 35 to 50K per year. Would you marry that?
Hell no. He's below the poverty line. What are you talking about?
The poverty line is actually far less
regular.
than that.
Yes.
But, the average man in the United States today is about 5'8" and makes somewhere between $35,000 to $50,000 per year.
5'8" is fine, but I don't know about the 35.
Real quick, raise your hands. How many of you guys would marry that man? Raise your hands if you would marry him. Yes or no?
I don't even know any men in that
Okay, hold on.
position.
So no one at the table would marry this man, right? No one? Okay. Congratulations. You and 1,000 other girls plus we've interviewed said the same exact thing. So it goes back to what I said. You said, most girls are gonna get a regular man. No, most girls don't even view regular men as members of society or an option. Most girls want extraordinary men.
So this is the Mitchell Report, where we tackle some of the hottest topics in the world of sports. And did you guys hear about the story of this cheerleader who got ejected after an on-court altercation with a college basketball player? I'm going through this story. Man, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get right into this. So Mississippi Valley State and Alabama AMU, they were tied at 63 with just over 3 minutes left to play in their conference game following 2 made free throws. But on the inbounds pass, Alabama A&M's Dalen Smith, I believe is his name, got a bit too close to a cheerleader while she was trying to do a stunt on the baseline. It appeared that Smith made contact with the cheerleader, who immediately looked back to see who had hit her. And she didn't forget it. When Mississippi Valley State took the ball back down the court and a whistle from a referee had stopped the play, she walked on the court and confronted the player that she had got tangled up with.
Please pay attention. I said, do you want a guy that's going to be monogamous, you?
Yes.
A provider?
Yeah.
A protector?
Yes.
Your emotional rock?
Yes.
You want a traditional man?
Yeah, I do.
Are you a traditional woman?
I am.
No, you're not. You got OnlyFans.
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway. Nope.
I mean, but that's not my only source of income.
Yeah,
I
but-
have many sources.
That's irrelevant. You're
Like
still not a
OnlyFans is
traditional
not
woman.
my career. It's one of my incomes, but
Okay,
it's not my career.
it's irrelevant because you're still not a traditional woman, but you want a traditional man in return.
You're a damaged goods lady.
Here is the custom content that my stepdad was requesting on my naughty site. Like I said in a previous video, we messaged every single day on the website and he would make requests almost every single day.
Every day? This gives a whole new meaning to every day I'm suffering.
One of them was to see the underwear that I was wearing every day. At the time I was working still, so I was out of the house 5 days a week, and he would ask for pictures in the bathroom or the change rooms of wherever I was. He also requested that when I was filming solo content at home that I would not do it in the bathroom or in the shower. He always wanted it to be on my bed or on the floor of my bedroom, which, mind you, he had access to this room every single day.
A lot of guys are socially awkward.
I think you're a bit ignorant to like the average guy's experience. Consider this, right? The average guy today, his granddad had to put in a quarter of the work to get the kind of woman that is 4 times as amazing as the woman he's attracted.
Oh, you're talking
like
about
his grandmother was an amazing woman and a very, very feminine, natural woman, and his granddad really didn't have to do the kind of work he has to do right now as a young man in the Western world.
So you're talking about hoflation.
Yes, it's hoflation.
Hoflation. So modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were.
It's true. It's actually true.
So last night I ended things with a guy that in one of my previous videos I had referred to as the most intentional man I've ever spoken to. It really does suck because he truly is amazing, has a lot of the things I'm looking for in a person, but we hung out like 6 or 7 times and I just wasn't feeling it. And it's just really a shame because he really is a great guy. If he had asked me for more details, I really don't know that I would have been able to give him many besides that shame, but there's really nothing you can do. It's just the name of the game.
In Germany, if you did not know, it's really common here for when 2 people go on a first date that they split the bill. So like the woman pays her portion and the man pays his portion. And the other thing about that is that on the date, you're only going to pay for what you consume. So let's say I got a margarita for $8 and he just got water, free water. When the total bill comes out, it's very common for the man or whoever to be like, hey, I didn't drink that margarita, so I don't want to split it like that. I want to pay for what I ate. So I went to the internet to try to figure out why is it like this, because this is not like how it is in America. It's very different. And apparently I can't read because I can't come to understand why. So you telling me you asked me out on a date. You told me I was beautiful. You invited me out to dinner. You're telling me how much you want to marry me and you want me to have your first children. And you tell me when the waiter comes out with the bill, after you said you was going to build a house with your own bare hands for me, and the waiter comes out with the bill and you look at me like this. So are you going to pay? What?
I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to find someone that makes them happy. I want everybody to live a beautiful life that they want for themselves. I don't wish ill on anybody, but I can't stand the delusion. Now we all got to sit here and we got to be like, oh, yeah, this is great. This is somebody who could get 95% of guys. And imagine going through life with that sense of delusion. Like we see it, and this is an extreme example, but when women walk around like that, imagine walking around thinking, I could get 95% of guys. How many guys are you telling no to because you think you're better than them? Are you? Or is it in your head? Just think about it. If you don't want to wind up alone, you have to have a realistic assessment of what you bring to the table, of your looks, of your capabilities, of what you're willing to do in a relationship, of your character, all of it.
There is a big difference between a bitter baby mama and a frustrated single mother. If she says, I don't like that you have a girlfriend, so I'm not letting you see our child, that's a bitter baby mama. If she says, I think it's BS that you pick and choose when you want to see your kid, that's a frustrated single mother. If she says, I'm increasing child support if you don't do things my way, that's a bitter baby mama. If she says, I need you to step up and pay for and take care of the child we made together, that's a frustrated single mother. If she won't hand over the child because you were 3 hours late for pickup, that's a frustrated single mother. But if she won't hand over the child because you were 3 minutes late for pickup, that's a bitter baby mama. A very important thing in co-parenting is to not treat a frustrated single mother like a bitter baby mama and vice versa, because these two women are not the same.
Men are now at a point to where they're walking away and they don't mind being alone. Y'all have messed it up. Women, a lot of us have messed it up. And like I said, even surprisingly to me, like, I was noticing and seeing so many men, like, I desire family. I desire commitment. I desire marriage. I desire to have a woman. I want to provide for a woman, take care of a family. Like, men have been wanting that. But now you're starting to see more and more men become more and more comfortable with the idea of not having any of that, because men are valuing and desiring their peace over everything else.
Feminist women out here making these good men not want to be good men. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Can you? Can you? I mean, I know physically I can take care of myself. I've been on my own since I was 17. Do I want to take care of myself all the time? No. Do I want to be independent all the time? No, I don't. Do I want to take care of somebody? Yes, I do. Do I want to make sure dinner is cooked and laundry is done and contributing to the household and taking care of the kids? Yes. Yes, I do. And then we got all you waffles out here ruining good men. They don't want to be good men because of feminists.
I don't like finding out that a guy doesn't like me anymore. That he's like over me. What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean you're over me? Like you've moved on. That's not how this works. That's not how this works, okay? I was supposed to go my whole life knowing in the back of my mind that you still like me, okay? I was supposed to think that every time I saw you, your heart did a little pitter-patter, okay? Now you've moved on? What does that mean? That's not possible. I don't understand.
This clip kind of exemplifies how a lot of these women think that men are kind of here to serve women and that they couldn't possibly be there to serve themselves and be an independent entity that is not here simply to complement the experience of women.
We cannot beat these. We cannot beat this mother game for.
Dating and trying to find a man is so complicated now.
What kind of man are you looking for?
Like tall, dark, handsome, God-fearing man, provider, head of household. You know, like basic stuff.
Well, yeah, that sounds like regular, normal stuff.
Who can turn water to wine. What? Walk across water. Can turn Super Saiyan God mode. Can find all the infinity stones. And did I mention well endowed? Like, that joint got tight. You know what I mean?
I am a single divorced mom. I have been divorced now for 4 years, going on 5 years. So I have been doing this whole thing by myself, literally doing everything, right? For me and my daughter for the past 5 years. And I will say that Although I am very happy with my life, I pray for a soft life, a life where the financial weight and the financial burden doesn't fall on me. Actually, I don't want a financial burden in our household, period, but I really do not want to carry the weights in that capacity at all. I want to be able to live a life of leisure, a soft life, a slow life. Like, I am so tired. And although I do feel like I carry it well, like, yes, you probably can't even tell that I'm tired because I do feel like I carry it well. That's not a good thing in itself. Like, it shouldn't be a badge of honor for me having to go through all these different struggles to be, you know, great, right? Like, I look forward to the day where I marry someone that kind of relieves me of the stress of like day-to-day life. And to be honest, I feel softer. I feel more feminine.
I keep getting comments and DMs asking me if I'm single, dating, other variations of that. And I thought this new year would be a great opportunity to explain how I'm feeling about dating right now in more detail.
Literally, no one asked. No one asked.
Feeling about dating right now in more detail. Let's say I pull out a jar and I go, guess what? There are 10 M&Ms in this jar. And you go, Laura, that's amazing. I love M&Ms more than anything else in the world. And you're like, yep, get in here and pick out your M&M so you can be happy for the rest of your life. And then so you stick your hand in there and all of a sudden you're in horrible pain and you go, hey, what the? And I go, oh my God, I forgot to mention, also in the jar, it's filled with maggots and needles and acid. But keep sticking your hand in there. It's worth it to find the M&M. So you keep sticking your hand in there, but the maggots bite you or whatever maggots do and the needles stab you and the acid burns you. So you tell me, hey, this isn't fun for me at all. So I say, well, I think you're just really bad at picking out M&Ms and it kind of seems like you like getting bitten and stabbed and burned. But you need to get back in there because there are millions of other hands looking for those M&Ms. Here's some advice from people who found M&Ms before years ago, even though it sounds like they're not M&Ms at all. And so you keep trying, but you realize that every single time you stick your hand in here, you're just getting hurt. And every time you pull your hand out, it's getting more and more disfigured, and you're starting not to recognize yourself. And there was this one time you thought you found an M&M, but it was a maggot pretending to be an M&M for some time. And you go, hey, I don't want...
Is this an analogy for her saying that she's ran through? I'm really, really confused. I kind of get what she's saying, but also wish she would just say it clearly.
I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't seem worth it for the M&M. And I go, no, you don't understand. You won't be happy and fulfilled until you have an M&M. Also, you're going about it all wrong. You need to try setting good boundaries. But then you realize boundaries are just sticking your hand in the jar and just pulling it out faster than normal so you're not as disfigured and hurt. So then I go, hey, have you tried only picking the ones that give you money and then be mean to them so that they give you more money? And you go, I've been bitten by the maggots and stabbed by the needles and burned by the acid so much to know there is no financial compensation that makes it worth it. Also, I can't even find a normal M&M. How am I gonna find an M&M with money? So then I call you a pick-me that deserves to get hurt because you won't evolve your M&M picking strategy with the times. Hey, doesn't that make you want to punch me in the face really, really hard? Did I mention that?
I'm really confused. Am I being dumb? I'm really confused.
All the while, the maggots and needles and acid are screaming at you that you're too stuck up and you need to lower their standards and be their surrogate mommy or else you're gonna die alone. But don't worry, they want you to stick your hand back in the jar because they're not gonna bite and burn and stab you like those other ones did. Here's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm closing the jar. I'm gonna throw the jar in the ocean and I'm gonna work on fixing my hand. Am I ever gonna stick my hand in the jar again? I really don't want to right now, but maybe that will change with time. But I think right now I'm tired of being told that I'm not good at picking M&Ms and that my standards are too high just because I want to be with someone who's kind to me and treats me like a human being. My orthodontist once told me that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It is starting to feel like insanity to keep drinking from the Kool-Aid that keeps poisoning me. So I'm not anymore.
So I'm probably gonna get shit for this video, but honestly, I don't care, I'm gonna make it anyway. I wanna talk about guys that reject hot chicks and then slum. Meaning you dated a hot girl and then decided that hot girl was not for you and are now dating a girl that is not nearly as hot. Obviously, there can be a lot of factors as to why you reject a hot girl. This is just a very broad generalization, but I'm gonna say it. I think the main reason that men reject hot women is because they don't want to have to work that hard. I mean, I think it's no secret that hot chicks tend to have higher expectations and higher standards than maybe less attractive women. I know how that sounds. It sounds really bad, but I think it's just because, again, hot chicks are just used to being treated a certain way. So I do think oftentimes when attractive men meet attractive women, they're almost like, crap, I'm actually gonna have to put in a lot of work here. Whereas girls that are less attractive just don't require that much work. To be clear, I think that you guys should be putting in work for whoever you are dating, no matter what they look like. But I think that girls that are less attractive, I mean, they're gonna be more likely to just accept you for how you are. They're gonna appreciate you more. They're going to demand less. They're gonna make you feel better about yourself. Again, obviously, I'm sure that it's like you could break up with a hot chick because she's just an asshole. But if that were really the case, then why wouldn't you date another hot girl afterwards? And yes, I understand that obviously other things than looks are more important, and you could have matured and realized like, hey, I actually want to date somebody that I have shit in common with and makes me laugh, and that's smart and cool and not just hot. But there are hot girls that have good personalities and that are smart and cool and you have things in common with too. They're just higher maintenance. I get it, you're gonna call me shallow and all of that, but I'm just calling it like I see it. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me for more tips.
I was a feminist when feminism was about equality, about leveling the playing field, giving women an opportunity to find their rightful place, particularly in the public world, which was tremendously important and exciting when we achieved that. But what feminism today, to me, is all about advantaging women at the expense of men. And it's become very much caught up in the demonisation of males, presenting them always at a disadvantage. And I don't want to have any part of that. I was writing recently about boys' education, which is something I've written about for many decades. And I came across an article I wrote 40 years ago where we just started to notice how badly boys were doing vis-a-vis girls. I mean, we'd had 10 years of programs trying to help girls do better in the schools, which was fantastic. And a lot of girls who had been held back by traditional assumptions about, girls not speaking up and girls not doing well in maths were now beginning to shine, which was a fantastic thing. But what was becoming very obvious is there were also a lot of boys falling behind and not achieving their potential. We have really very much feminist ideology infiltrating all our education systems, systematic programs to continue to advantage girls, and no one taking any notice of the fact that boys are falling out in huge numbers.
How old are you?
I am 42.
What does it feel like to be 42?
Exhausting all the time. I mean, it's cool. I've learned a lot over the years, but it's just I'm exhausted. I'm working all the time and just trying to find time to balance life.
Does it feel differently than when you were in your 30s and 20s?
I thought I was invincible when I was in my 30s and 20s, and I'm clearly not.
Did you have like a moment that kind of hit and you realized you weren't invincible?
No, not really. Just over time, just started to realize it.
What is one thing that when we're younger we tend to prioritize, but as we get older we realize isn't actually that important?
Probably money. Realize that over time, family, friends, experience is more important.
Is there a reverse, like something that we don't prioritize enough when we're in our 20s that we should?
Time.
What should we do?
Just enjoy it more and really live in the moment.
I think I'm a catch. I'm successful in my career. I can hold my own. I'm financially independent. I have a great family. I have a good personality. I'm attractive. I had all this confidence. So I was like, why the fuck am I getting rejected? And what I realized through therapy and some of the people that I had spoken to was that I was just too much in my masculine energy. Naturally, I just have more masculine energy just based on how I was raised. I only have brothers. I had a lot of male energy around me growing up. I run 2 businesses, so every day I'm in that leadership mind. I'm in that, not harsh mindset, but very masculine. So leading, very driven, very ambitious, all that type of stuff. And what was happening was I was bringing that masculine energy into my dating world and into, relationships, and it was coming off to men. I was that girl that was like, I don't need a man, and, you know, if he doesn't like me for me, then that's his problem, and I'm not going to change, and he needs to accept me for me, and blah, blah, blah. And there was something that my ex had said to me when we were breaking up that really, really stuck with me, and it was, you're too independent. And I was always like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, isn't that a good thing? Like, don't you want to be with a girl who is not, you know, depending on you financially or depending on you for everything? And isn't it attractive that you're with someone who can like hold their own? But what I realized is that men want to be with a woman who they feel they're needed by. So that doesn't necessarily mean financially or anything like that, but like they want to be with someone where they're the leader in the relationship, they're making the decisions, they're caring for someone because that's just naturally in them. So for me, I had to rewire my brain of thinking that just because I was letting a man care for me and that I was going to be more feminine, that wasn't weak or that I wasn't still independent.
I'm sitting here with just this horrible realization. I've been divorced for 3 years, and in that 3 years, I have spent most of my days figuring out how I can become physically, mentally, financially, spiritually healthy enough to be able to afford and take care of a child. And not only have I taken that time, but I've done the math, and it does not work out. I am not young enough, or fertile enough, or financially stable enough to even do another round of IVF, and at 36, like, I'm sorry, like, you're gonna say, like, you have time, like, I don't. Because I can't spend another minute of my life trying to make something work when I'm just fighting upstream. I don't have a support system. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources or the community. And it just kills me. It kills me that I had embryos with my ex-husband that were viable. And they're just gone now. And my future with those children and my life as a mother is just, it's gone. And it's not just that it's gone, it's the fact that it was decided for me by so many other people and factors. And that's what kills me, because it was not my choice. And I'm angry. And I'm heartbroken.
It's Wednesday, and I was just thinking, because I'm about to go into work, I might quit my job today, you know, because, like, why not, right? So let me know if you think I should. And I'm bipolar. I know I want to quit my job like every other day. I know I'd be saying that. So if my boss sees this and I don't quit today, I'm just kidding. I just want to know. Remember up. Do they know that they been up? You know? Like, do they know they gonna up? That's what I want to know. And if you do, why do you keep doing it for? Why do you keep doing it? Because I just would like to know if y'all are making the conscious decision to piss me the f off. You know? So let me know. Do y'all know? Do y'all realize it? Do you realize the manner in which y'all be up and pissing me off? Or are y'all like helpless little puppy type? The answer to this would really change everything for me.
I don't know if I'm just making this up or if it's just my intuition, but I have this feeling that the guy I'm seeing at the moment, he's getting off and having his little ego stroked by the fact that his housemates have heard us. I don't know if it's legit or not, but there's just some things that I'm just questioning. Like, he never tells me if there's other people in the house, and he never tells me to keep it down or anything like that. And when I ask, are there people here? He'll say no at times, but then there are. And then when we go downstairs, they kind of make these weird eye contact with each other, and they're like, And it's a very boy club because it's a bunch of dudes living in a house together. And he seems insecure, like it seems like it's like an ego thing, but I'm not too sure. But it's weird, and I don't know.
If you are single and you are in the dating marketplace at that time, when that happens, say you're 37, 36, 38, 40, whatever it may be, and you are still on the hunt for that man, and you hit the wall and you can see in your face that you are no longer the face that you were at whether it was 30 or 35 or 25, whatever it is, you are going to be panicked. Because now you know that you are going to compete with women who are younger, who are largely more fertile, not always, but largely speaking, yes, who have that youthfulness to them, who have that estrogen, progesterone, whatever the hormonal balance is that makes someone young, it's there, and you're losing it. And you become hyper aware of that, and that is why women begin to panic.
You know what I want to talk about, you guys? So I live in New York, specifically Brooklyn, and I be outside, enjoying summer as I should. And I've been going to the block parties, all of that good stuff, the day parties has been a time. But the problem is the men just stare at you. They just stare at you the whole time. They don't approach you. They don't want to get to know you. They don't want to, oh, do you want to drink? It's just a staring contest the whole time. I'm trying to figure out, how am I supposed to meet my future husband if the men are not approaching? Because I'm not approaching a man. Like, it's giving the men want to be chased now. That's what it's giving, and I don't like it.
And just to piggyback off of what I was just talking about dating or, messing with chicks over 35, I get the notion, you don't want to mess with a chick over 35 because she's damaged, she's been through life, she has trauma, she probably has kids. Well, all of that is true, and you want to exercise caution. Not every woman over 35 is the same. I'm going to tell you something, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying it, I'm going to keep drilling it. Some of the best sex I've ever had was with a 52-year-old woman. Made my toes curl, blew my freaking mind. 52 years old. See, half of the guys that talk all this crap telling y'all what to do, what not to do, who to date, not to date, they can't even get pussy. They can't get it from a 45-year-old and they can't get it from a 25.
People meet people nowadays. Being a single gal in a single world, where do I go if I don't want to go on dating apps? Like, I don't like dating apps. I've had them. I've tried them. I get disappointed. I get discouraged. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Dating apps, if you're going to think this person is attractive, you're probably going to swipe yes. And if you don't find them attractive, you're going to swipe no. But sometimes people just aren't photogenic. They just don't present themselves well through photos. That's why I just feel like it's so much better to meet people in person. Also, just like with having dating apps, like, it just feels forced. And I don't want it to feel forced. I want to like go out in public, meet someone like in the wild, both just happen to bump into each other and you're like, and then, sparks fly. I just want to know where do the single men go? Where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Like, if you're in the garage, like, come out. Like, are you at the lake? Are you snowmobiling? Are you fishing? It's wintertime. What are you doing right now? It's funny. How am I this amazing? Like, and single? Like, are you kidding me? And like, for the longest time, I just like wasn't worried about it. At this point, I'm 31. What is happening? Like, is there just no one left? Put me on a dating show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I don't even care. Just put me somewhere so I can actually like interact with the male race. I'm not interacting with males. Anyways, love comes to you when you least expect it. Shut up. I have been trying to not expect it for like 6 years. And also, I was speaking to my friend the other day, and she was like, well, like, are you, like, trying to, like, go out of your way to meet people? And I'm like, no, because people are fucking telling me that it comes when you least expect it. So here I am, like, trying to convince myself I don't want it, and I'm just not expecting it so I can get it, and it's not happening. But then even when I go out of my way to, like, go on dating apps, it just never works because these people that I'm meeting aren't my cup of tea, are not wanting what I want. They just want a casual thing. And like, as someone who's never been in any kind of romantic entanglement, my first relationship is not gonna be a fucking casual relationship. And yeah, so like, what one is it? Should I put myself out there, or should I just pretend that I'm not like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend?
So I just watched a video of a girl where she said that she got very humbled because she went on a date with a guy, and she said on the text messages he was very flirty. In real life, when they met, he wasn't as forward, and that the date went really well. She said they were out for 2 hours, they went for a walk, they went for a coffee, and then she said she bluntly just asked him, why is he more flirty on text messages than he is in real life? He then humbles her and he says, I think you're a very pretty girl, however, you do look a little bit different than your pictures. That's my opinion now, but I have enjoyed our date, but I do think it's more of a friendly vibe. All the comments are roasting this guy, being like, oh, but he's a walking red flag, you dodged a bullet there, and all this, right? I don't see anything wrong in what he's done. He's been very polite about it. He's went on the date with you, and you've asked him a question and he's told you the truth, but because it's an answer that you don't want to hear, you then come to TikTok for loads of people to then roast this guy, when, fair enough, you haven't put a picture of him up, thank God, but he's done the right thing. Some guys, I've heard stories where they'll meet up with someone and they'll leave them in a bar or a restaurant. Some people I know have driven off from people when they've just been stood there waiting. That's the wrong way to deal with it. How this guy handled it, I think, was correct, in my opinion. And I know this because I once used to use a lot of filters on dating apps, and when I met up with a guy once, you could tell he was not interested at all. And then he texted me and he was like, I think you look a little bit different in your pictures. I was humbled. I never used proper full-on filters ever again. I might use like a smoother filter or a tan filter, but I never used one that made me look like a completely different person because I was humbled. And how that guy done it and how this guy done it was perfectly correct. So I don't know why, I just don't get with the comments why women are so against when people tell the truth.
It's really interesting to note that, you know, especially within the States, but just in general, the research actually has depicted that women in their 40s is the most unhappiest age group out there. Think about that. The unhappiest age group in all of the world, predominantly, we're talking about the States right now, is women in their 40s. That's 1 in 4 Americans, which is crazy. That's 25% of the population are women in their 40s, and they're the unhappiest group out there. And it's just absolutely scary and it's appalling. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? And at the end of the day, the number one reason why, well, there could be many reasons why actually. But one of them, as I mentioned beforehand, is it's really all about e-commerce. It's about the pharmaceutical industries. It's about really just making money. It's a multi-million-dollar business for the most part.
Las Vegas, 49, Pisces, security guard, 25-year-old son. What kind of woman you looking for, boo?
Sugar mama. I don't care how old she is.
And she got to pay for you.
Obviously.
When you're going out, who's paying for the dinner?
She is.
She is?
Yeah.
When you go out on the trips, she's paying for you and her?
Yeah. I done did all that. I done did all that. It's time to flip it.
They're giving me the red flags for you in the comment section, and then they're calling you a clown. Do you want to respond?
What happened to equal rights?
Gotcha.
I thought men and women were equal. What happened to that? That don't exist? That's a fantasy? Or it's only convenient for you at the time it's convenient? Miss OnlyFans, Instagram pages, Miss Get a Buck for 5 seconds for doing nothing. I'm a man. I always have to provide. So even though I might be getting service or whatever, what you require from a man is his basically his complete attention and damn near servitude. And you want that just for shut up. Force is strong in this one. That ain't good enough. Do something. Earn my respect. I'm a prize too. You not the only prize.
Call up a guy and say you want to up tonight.
Oh, I got a good one.
Can we hang out whenever you get back?
Now you want to hang out?
No, I do, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No. I'm gonna go with someone else.
Go.
That's the guy that has had a crush on me since 7th grade.
That's a W Brown.
That's wild, bro. He's been in the friend zone for 7 years and rejects her over the phone.
My man.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Okay.
Do you want to go on a date and get naughty together?
No, I'm good.
You don't want to? Not at all?
Nope, sorry.
Okay. Do you want to go on a date and get naughty?
Oh, I'll pass.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is awkward because you rejected me.
Go find someone else.
Okay. Thank you. Rejected.
My man, rejected easily. And then she calls him awkward. Yikes.
As a professional matchmaker, I see so many great women get declined by men for really silly reasons. So men, what are the main reasons why you would decline meeting a woman? Post your reasons in the comments attached, and I want to see if my theories are correct behind this.
Aren't you gonna open the door for me?
Yeah, I was literally just about to.
As you should.
Shut that door. Shut that door.
I think I left him on the seat. 1 second. I just gotta move it for you. I don't want you to sit on it.
Okay.
Please drive off. Please drive off. Please drive off.
What age did you wake up and realize that you no longer wanted to be a strong? She pretty much talks about like coming to the realization that she no longer wants to be a strong, independent Black woman. I will have to say that it's just now hitting me. I just turned 33, and I will say, I think it's this year that it's really hit me that I do not want the title of a strong, independent Black woman. Okay.
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.